Money doesn't sleep, but it does quietly judge every decision you make, especially the ones you swear were passive income strategies. Fact 1. The automation myth. Here's the first truth nobody likes to say out loud. Passive income is never passive at the start. People love repeating that fantasy line. Make money while you sleep. Sure, but before you sleep, you're going to bleed, debug, rebuild, and wonder why your brilliant idea behaves like a toddler with a sugar addiction. Real talk. Every so-called automated stream begins with a season of ruthless focus. You build, ship, fail, iterate, ship again, break something, fix it, and pretend it was intentional. The world's most efficient wealth builders don't wait for conditions to be perfect. They operate like engineers of their own reality. They test, measure, and update faster than the average person decides what to eat for lunch. The lesson? Systems make you rich, not luck. And systems require pressure, friction, and uncomfortable discipline. But once the system runs, it scales without asking your permission. You become the architect instead of the labor. If you want passive income, prepare for an aggressively active beginning. Fact 2. The compound attention trick. Everyone talks about compound interest like it's some mystical superpower. Cute. The real engine behind long-term passive income isn't compound interest, it's compound attention. The people who build unstoppable income streams don't chase every shiny opportunity. They pick one vehicle, stare at it with laser-level obsession, and pour so much focused energy into it that the world eventually has no choice but to notice. Think of attention like rocket fuel. At first, it burns fast, hot, and inefficiently. You'll work for weeks, maybe months, and see nothing. Zero traction, crickets that don't even bother chirping. But stay locked in long enough and something interesting happens. The world starts responding. One customer becomes 10, 10 become 100. Suddenly, that small project becomes a cash-producing machine even when you're offline. Most people never reach this threshold because they keep switching rockets mid-launch. They abandon projects the moment they get bored or confused. The lesson? If you want passive income later, you need obsessive, borderline unreasonable focus now. Attention compounds, but only if you keep it in one place. Fact 3. The leverage skill loop. Everyone wants passive income without realizing the entry ticket is a skill you've upgraded to the point it becomes boringly reliable. That's the moment leverage kicks in. High performers don't try to monetize every random talent. They pick one skill, refine it ruthlessly, then build digital, automated, or outsourced systems around it. Think of it like this. Your skill is the engine, but leverage is the multiplier. A normal person writes one article. A leveraged person turns one article into a newsletter, a course module, a YouTube script, and a lead magnet, all running while they're asleep, arguing with their own ambition. People who never build passive income all share one flaw. They chase shortcuts instead of mastery. They want the results of a system without the precision of a craftsman. But the people who look lucky? They built an engine strong enough that one push creates 20 outcomes. The lesson: master one skill deeply enough that scaling it becomes obvious, almost trivial. That's when income stops depending on your presence. Fact 4. The build once earn forever illusion. Here's the inconvenient truth the internet won't tell you. Nothing earns forever unless you maintain it like a spacecraft in orbit. Even the best passive income asset has decay. Algorithms shift, markets evolve. Buyer psychology mutates every 6 months like it's trying to survive a zombie apocalypse. People who actually build long-term passive success understand this. Maintenance isn't a chore, it's a strategic calibration. You don't rebuild a house, you just tighten the bolts. 5 minutes of updates can extend a revenue stream for 5 years. But amateurs do the opposite. They build something once, then vanish like a magician who forgot his own act. And when the system stops printing money, they scream, "It doesn't work." No, it worked. You just didn't upgrade the operating system. The lesson? Passive income is a machine. Machines require tune-ups. The smarter you get at small, consistent tweaks, the longer your assets keep paying you for work you barely even remember doing. Fact 5. The asymmetric work principle. Here's the thing most people misunderstand. Passive income isn't about doing less work. It's about doing unfair work, meaning work that pays disproportionately more than the effort required. Investors, creators, founders, they all rely on the same trick: asymmetric bets. Work once, get paid repeatedly. The difference between regular work and asymmetric work is simple. A job pays you once, a system pays you infinitely. The people who generate real passive income don't ask, "How fast can I get paid?" They ask, "How many times will this pay me after I'm done touching it?" Write one book, thousands of sales, record one video, millions of views, build one software tool, lifetime users, buy one asset, endless cash flow. This mindset shift is what separates hustlers from architects. Hustlers chase checks. Architects build structures that print checks. The lesson? Aim for outputs that multiply on their own. Set up the right asymmetric work, and suddenly time becomes your employee, not your enemy. Fact 6. The network flywheel. People think passive income is built in spreadsheets. Wrong. It's built in conversations. The people who scale fastest understand one thing. Your network is a flywheel. Slow to start, unstoppable once. Spinning. Every connection becomes leverage. Every collaboration becomes acceleration. Every introduction becomes a shortcut you didn't even know existed. Most people try to go solo because it feels safer. Meanwhile, the ones who win quietly build alliances. They learn from someone smarter, partner with someone faster, and hire someone better. It's not cheating, it's bandwidth engineering. Here's the punchline. The higher your network's IQ, the lower your personal effort. That's the real cheat code. You stop solving every problem alone and start borrowing other people's decades of experience. The lesson? Curate your circle like it's a board of directors. If you surround yourself with amateurs, you'll build amateur systems. But surround yourself with winners, and even your mistakes will start making money. Fact 7. The time arbitrage hack. The most successful income builders all exploit one simple and brutally effective truth. Your time is more valuable when someone else is doing the work. Not in a lazy way, but in a strategic. Why would I solve a $5 problem when I'm capable of $5,000 decisions? Way. Time arbitrage is when you deliberately trade money for hours, not hours for money. You outsource the repeatable. You automate the predictable. You delegate the boring. So your brain is free to focus on the decisions that actually move the needle. People stuck in low-return thinking try to do everything themselves. They brag about grinding, but their workday is basically the human version of spinning a hamster wheel. Meanwhile, wealth builders ask one question on repeat. Is this task worthy of my mind? If the answer is no, it becomes someone else's job or a machine's job. The lesson? Passive income isn't built from more work. It's built from better work done at higher altitudes. Fact 8. The ownership override. Here's a piece of wisdom people fight against until they're exhausted. A percentage of something scalable beats a 100% of something tiny. Ownership wins, but only when the thing you own can grow without dragging you with it. That's why the smartest builders chase assets, not hours. Equity, royalties, licensing, digital IP, automated stores, scalable products, they all share the same magic trick. They grow independently from your daily mood, motivation, or caffeine levels. Most people chase control instead of growth. They want to own everything end-to-end, even if it limits them to the ceiling of their own time. Meanwhile, the ones who build real passive income give up tiny slices of control in exchange for exponential scale. The lesson? Don't aim to own everything. Aim to own the things that multiply. Give up small pieces to people who can grow the whole pie bigger than you ever could alone. That's how you stop working in your income and start working above it. Fact 9. The fail fast, adjust faster. Rule people dream of passive income because they assume it's smooth, predictable, peaceful, adorable. The truth is this: the people who succeed treat failure like a laboratory, not a funeral. They don't cry over broken systems. They patch them, test them, relaunch them, and repeat until the machine hums. The reason most people never create a single dollar of passive income is simple. Their ego collapses after the first setback. The product didn't sell, the video didn't get views, the rental property needed repairs, the ad campaign flopped, and instead of adjusting, they declare the entire model a scam. But the people who actually make it? They adapt faster than the problem grows. They stay calm, like engineers watching data. Something broke? Good. Now we know where the weakness is. The lesson? Passive income isn't about perfection. It's about resilience. Your system won't work on the first try, but it will work on the 10th, if you still show up. Fact 10. The invisible work dividend. Here's the secret most people never see. The biggest income jumps happen when nobody's watching. The hours you spend learning skills after midnight, fixing systems no one knows exist, and studying failures that aren't public. That's the invisible work that compounds into passive income later. People often assume success comes from one genius move. No. It comes from hundreds of small, unglamorous, quietly executed decisions that stack like bricks. When you see someone earning in their sleep, you're not looking at luck. You're looking at the dividend of invisible work they invested years prior. The amateurs try to look successful. The pros work silently until the results make noise. One operates on ego, the other on inevitability. The lesson? Your unseen effort becomes your future autopilot. Quiet hours today turn into loud income tomorrow. Fact 11. The replication mindset. Passive income isn't about building one thing that works. It's about building one thing you can replicate. The most successful people treat every win as a template. They don't just celebrate, they copy, paste, and scale. Your first successful income stream is a prototype. Your second is proof. Your third is a system. After that, it becomes a factory. Most people never reach that stage because they build something once, then start from scratch like they're allergic to efficiency. But high performers operate differently. They ask, why build another business when I can duplicate this one? Why create a new product when the last one just needs a variation? Why chase a new niche when this niche still has 10 doors left unopened? The lesson? Don't diversify too early. Perfect one thing until it becomes a blueprint you can clone. Replication is what turns income streams into income ecosystems. Fact 12. The money velocity rule. The wealthy obsess over something most people never consider: how fast money moves, not how much they make, how quickly. It circulates, multiplies, reinvests, and returns. They treat money like energy. Stagnant money dies, circulating money compounds. This is why they reinvest aggressively, not recklessly, strategically. Revenue flows into assets. Assets generate cash flow. Cash flow funds new systems. New systems birth new revenue. It's a loop, not a line. Average people slow their financial velocity by parking money in stagnant places. Unused bank savings, random purchases, emotional spending, dead-end habits. Wealth builders use their capital like chess pieces. Every move creates momentum. The lesson? Passive income accelerates when your money stops sitting and starts circulating. Velocity builds empires, stagnation builds excuses. Fact 13. The boring to brilliant pipeline. Here's the twist no one expects. The best passive income ideas are unbelievably boring. Rentals, royalties, digital assets, systems, licensing, long-tail content, none of it sounds sexy. But that's exactly why it works. Everyone's chasing the next flashy trend, leaving the quiet, predictable models untouched. And the wise operators swoop in, build simple, predictable machines, and let boredom print money. Want proof? Every high performer eventually learns to love repetition. They understand that brilliance is just boredom refined. They know that consistency multiplies faster than chaos. The lesson? Chase the boring things. Do them brilliantly. That's where wealth hides, in places too dull for impulsive people to bother with. Fact 14. The you become the system moment. There comes a point, and this is the real milestone, when the work stops shaping you and you start shaping the work. You think differently. You decide faster. You calculate consequences instinctively. You see opportunities before others even see patterns. Passive income doesn't just make you richer. It rewires you. It forces discipline. It sharpens judgment. It replaces emotional decisions with strategic ones. And eventually, without realizing it, you become the kind of person who creates systems instead of surviving inside them. This is the transformation people admire without understanding. It's not about money. It's about identity. Once you think like a system builder, wealth follows you the way gravity follows mass. The lesson? Don't chase the lifestyle. Chase the identity. Become the person whose default operating system is built for scale, and the world bends around your structure. Fact 15. The asymmetric risk shield. Every smart wealth builder eventually learns this ancient truth disguised as modern strategy. Never risk your foundation to build your freedom. Passive income is created by taking asymmetric risks. Small downsides, massive upsides. But the truly elite do something even smarter. They build a shield around their downside. While everyone else is gambling their savings on the next big thing, high performers treat risk like a mathematician, not a gambler. They separate their survival money from their growth money. They protect their reserves while letting their experiments run wild. The moment your rent, food, and baseline responsibilities are insulated from your financial experiments, you unlock a form of creativity that feels like cheating. You can take bold swings without fear of collapse. You can test weird ideas. You can innovate without trembling. The lesson? Passive income grows fastest when you're not scared. Build a risk shield, and suddenly opportunities stop looking dangerous. They start looking obvious. Fact 16. The small iteration advantage. Everyone is obsessed with massive breakthroughs, but the people earning quietly and consistently are masters of something far simpler: tiny improvements. One tweak to a headline doubles conversions. One improved thumbnail triples views. One clearer offer quadruples sales. Passive income isn't powered by big genius moments. It's powered by micro-optimizations that stack like compound interest. The difference between someone making $500 a month and $5,000 a month is rarely talent or luck. It's usually a handful of tiny changes repeated consistently. Most people never see this because they quit too early. They expect the first version to explode. But the real growth kicks in around version 8, 9, 10, where the system becomes so efficient it feels effortless. The lesson? Don't chase perfection, chase iterations. The smallest improvement repeated consistently beats the biggest idea executed once. Fact 17. The long-tail immortality trick. This is where passive income turns from strategy into immortality. The most powerful income streams live in the long tail, the part of the internet where content, products, and ideas continue earning long after the hype dies. One article can bring traffic for 10 years. One digital product can sell quietly for a decade. One well-designed asset can outlive the trend that birthed it. That's the beauty of the long tail. It doesn't care about virality. It cares about endurance. Experts build assets that age well. They focus on timeless value, not trendy buzzwords. They create things that remain useful even when the world gets distracted by the next shiny tech miracle. The lesson? Build for longevity, not applause. Let the algorithms chase chaos while your assets quietly collect interest from the future. Fact 18. The identity lock-in. Here's the final uncomfortable truth. You don't build passive income. Passive income builds you. After enough systems, failures, optimizations, and breakthroughs, something shifts. You stop thinking like a consumer and start thinking like a creator. You stop asking, how do I make money? And start asking, how do I build engines that outlast me? That's when you realize passive income isn't a result. It's an identity. It rewires your default settings. You become someone who sees leverage everywhere, someone who optimizes instinctively, someone who thinks in systems, not shifts. Most people remain stuck because they want wealth without evolution. But the people who break through embrace the transformation. They become the kind of human whose decisions naturally create compounding results. The lesson? Your income ceiling is your identity ceiling. Upgrade that, and everything else follows. So tell me, which mindset shift hit you the hardest? Drop your disaster below.